Yo, what's up, guys? How's it going? Got Riddles here. We're gonna be talking Kazuya with him. Yeah, I'll ask him Kazuya questions among other stuff, but guess let's just get into it. So, I mean, you were widely considered to be the best Terry in the world before, the pandemic and all that stuff. So, a lot of people are going to be going to you to see like what you think of Kazuya because you're basically like the fighting game character guy in Ultimate.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
So what's your opinion of Kazuya? Do you think he's the best fighting game character? I mean, obviously he barely came out, so yeah.
Okay. I think right off the bat, I think he is better than Ryu and Ken. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if he is better than Terry, is a subjective question because I think it's too early. I think they're better than Ryu and Ken, but I think in terms of if they're better than Terry, it's kind of like we should let the meta develop a little bit more, see where things go. Because I think they're pretty different characters. So the way they like work out in like tournament and stuff, and how good they are, stuff like that, it's gonna work out very differently. So I think we should see the meta develop for further before I like confidently say Kazuya is the best. But so far, it's like looking up to be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. My first impressions of him were really good. Like, I think this character has a lot of busted stuff about him. So I'm just like, hey man, just think about how far the meta could develop and whatnot. So my first impressions of Kazuya, really, really good.
That's interesting that like right off the bat you think he's already better than Ryu and Ken. And yeah, I mean it's true. Like what he's been out for over a day, so obviously I'm not expecting you to know everything about the character because I'm sure there's more to learn with him. He seems like a very like in-depth character to know or to learn about. But I guess why do you like already think he's better than Ryu and Ken?
I think Ryu and Ken suck. Okay, they're good, right? Like if you want to win if you want to win some sets occasionally against like a top player or whatever, maybe you can get a win sometimes. But in my opinion, it's all about consistency. I think being consistent is really important because like if you're just falling out of combos and whatnot, it's really bad for you, especially in like high pressure tournament situations. I'm thinking about like Ryu and Ken, right? As well as Terry to an extent. Actually,
Okay.
Terry's probably the most inconsistent, but that's besides the point. I mean, Ryu is kind of consistent, but it's not like good enough to be like a constant tournament threat. You see how little players play Ryu for a reason, just because I think his kit is just really underwhelming personally. There's a reason why there's not many Ryus. And like there's more Kens, but I genuinely think that if you know the matchup versus Ken, it's like, what does the Ken do? Because he has such little options in neutral and whatnot. He's always doing the same thing, basically. There's very little mix-ups. So I just don't see the potential for them, personally. It might sound pessimistic, but I see potential. I see the potential for Kazuya, like right off the bat.
Okay. So I saw a tweet you made saying that you think Kazuya is the hardest character to like learn in Ultimate, which I think that's like a pretty huge statement given he's only been out for over a day. Do you think the reason he's so difficult is because of how important the Electric Wind Godfist is? Or do you think it's more than just that?
I think it's way more than just that. I think Electric Wind Godfist is like the fifth thing. The fifth most important thing or whatever. I think there's a lot of things with this character. I think the most jarring part. So I'm just gonna say this right here. Kazuya is the first character to make me like exhausted, like really exhausted after playing him. Because every other character in Ultimate, I can kind of just like sit back, relax, smash, whatnot. Like when I play Terry, Wolf, Snake, Roy, all these characters, I can kind of just play like whatever. I can kind of just like relax and play the game. Kazuya, I have to focus so much. It's like insane. I have to focus like every single move, every single movement detail, every single combo, every single hit confirm that I do. It's like since his confirms are tight, his combos are actually hard. You have to really focus on them, and of course, getting Electro Wind Godfist and stuff like that, right? I think the thing that people aren't talking about very often is his neutral. I think his neutral is one of the hardest. I tweeted this out earlier. It's like you're playing Tekken, right?
Yeah.
Because they did a really good job of like making him feel like a Tekken character in Smash. Like that's really sick, right?
Yeah.
And it's really fun to play as, but like Tekken, it's also really hard. Like you have to like, do all the backdashes. You have to, although backdashing is easier than Korean backdashing, obviously. You have to do like the missteps or like the crouch dashes and whatnot. You have to do like the fast version as well, which incorporates like dash walking and stuff like that. Like I think you saw the Twitter clip did you see the Twitter clip of me doing like the crouch dashes really fast under the pit arrow?
I didn't know. I have not.
I'll show you real quick. But you have to do stuff like this in neutral.
Oh my god. That looks ridiculous.
So stuff like that you have to do in neutral, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the inputs are complex. You have to like focus on that. You have to focus on the backdashing, right? His aerials are good, but like obviously his jump is 7 frames. It's not like always the best option. So a lot of the times you're gonna be grounded. Maybe sometimes you're gonna do approaching aerial, but the main thing I'm talking about in terms of his neutral is like think about it. You're playing Tekken neutral while your opponent is playing Smash. I tweeted this out. I said it's very exhilarating, like it's really fun, but it's also really tiring. You have to like always keep track of your movements and stuff like that. That's why he's really hard. It's really exhausting. I can only imagine doing it in tournament, but I'm gonna try my best because I'm different.
I feel like just in general when you're picking up a character, like obviously because you're like learning more stuff, it could be kind of more exhausting because you're like physically more focused to like learning this stuff. Do you feel like once you get a better grasp of the character, he's still going to be like significantly more exhausting than like let's say like Terry?
I think so, yeah. Because I think Terry, he's not really easy, but he's not really like that hard. I think Kaz is just gonna stay hard, to be honest, and you're just gonna, and if you want to main him, you just have to be dedicated. I said that I'm dedicated, so I think I'm just devoted to this character. You know what?
Yeah.
He's really fun, so I'm just like whatever, man. I'm just gonna keep doing it, even if he's like the hardest character in the game. I just want to do it because he's sick, and I think he's also really good, so I'm gonna keep doing that.
Okay, so you also talked about how you're basically playing Tekken and Smash. He has a 7-frame jump squad, and I feel like Ultimate kind of is a very jump heavy game. So how like limiting do you think his 7-frame jump squad is going to be?
This is pretty interesting. I feel like there's some options. I think his up air is actually pretty good. His aerials are actually not bad, even though in Tekken they're like useless. But I'm thinking of like incorporating things like down B. Like if they're like platform camping, you can like command grab them. I'm thinking of incorporating that. Although it's kind of slow, so it sounds hard, but I try anyways. I think up B might be a good option as well because it actually like goes up pretty surprisingly high.
Yeah.
And it does damage and it kills. So I've been thinking of doing that as well. Like his aerials are not bad. Surprisingly, I thought his aerials are actually going to be much worse. I thought they're going to be like little Mac tier.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad. I think he has some options. And his double jump goes high, of course.
Yeah. I guess just like add more on top of it. Although his aerials are good, his jump squad is still slow. So do you think that's going to like affect how well you can utilize his aerials?
Not really. I actually don't really notice it when I play. I don't go like, oh my god, the 7-frame jump squad. Maybe it's because I play the other fighting game characters, so I'm used to like playing sort of grounded, right? When I think of playing Kazuya, I don't go like, oh my god, 7-frame jump squad every time I jump, right? I personally don't really notice it much. Maybe it's because I played other Smash games, so I'm like used to like the slower jump squats. Yeah, I don't think it's that much of an issue, personally.
Okay. I think compared to the other fighting game characters, like from what I've seen, it feels like Kazuya has better options to actually edgeguard the opponent, like with his laser and his down smash, like thing below the ledge. Do you think that's going to be like a huge factor as to why he might potentially be better than the other fighting game characters?
I don't think it's a huge factor, but it's definitely a contributing factor for sure. Like obviously laser offstage is just a good option, right? In general, but I think he can actually, like, compared to the other fighting game characters, he can actually edge guard like surprisingly well because his like up B goes far, his double jump goes really far, obviously. Like he has good options, like he has back air, he has forward air, he has nair, which spikes. Sometimes you can use down air even. Like he actually has good edge guarding tools, which is really surprising because I think of all characters, this would be the character that would never have an edge guarding tool, but he actually has a decent amount. I've been thinking of like incorporating stuff like that, and you obviously have like laser and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like the hugest thing ever, but like it's definitely a nice thing to keep in mind.
I was definitely like, wow, like he could actually go off stage. Just like
he can actually go off stage.
Yeah.
Another thing is that he doesn't have like, so you know how when you play the fighting game characters, you sometimes miss input, like you try to do an aerial and you miss input like some random aerial command or whatever. Because I do that a lot sometimes. Like I try to go for like a nair with Terry. Sometimes I like power dunk on command, even though I wasn't supposed to. With Kazuya, he has none of that, so you can just freely do aerials whenever you want, and it's really good and it's just amazing.
Yeah. What, in your opinion, do you think is the most limiting thing about Kazuya that you've experienced so far? Or like his biggest strength in your opinion?
So his worst aspect and his best aspect.
Basically, yeah.
Honestly, it's how hard he is.
Okay.
I can't really think of like a very limiting factor because I think he has the tools to deal with a lot of like options in the game, if I have to be real. But it's just like executing those tools. Like obviously this will be a problem that will probably, I think I said that he'll always be hard, but as time goes on, he'll probably get like figured out more and stuff like that. Honestly, the fact that you're playing a hard character that takes so much energy from you, that takes so much focus, and your opponent is playing a character that just does random aerials or whatever, you know, the classic ultimate.
Yeah.
It's like it's stressful. It's stressful. That's definitely like a huge thing I notice when playing Kazuya, is that the opponent has to work less, I guess. You know, that's the thing that I notice a lot more. Because your opponent is just playing Smash, you're playing like a crazy version of Smash. He's probably like one of the most non-Smash characters ever. So it's just really, you know, overwhelming at first, but you know, stuff like that. And I think his like his best aspect, there's actually a lot of good things about the character. I think it's Electric Wind Godfist, honestly.
Yeah.
I actually don't even think it's the Rage Drive. I think it's Electric Wind Godfist. Electric Wind Godfist is +1 or 2, I think, in this game. It's +5 in Tekken, but I think it's +1 or 2 in this game. But it's safe. It pushes you back like incredibly far. It combos into so many things. Like Electric Wind Godfist to up smash is a true kill confirm at high percents. You can juggle off of it at low percents, obviously. It's just like Electric Wind Godfist is actually so broken. And like they made it easier, but they made it, I kind of like how they did it in Smash. They made it like easier, right? To the point where most people can do it. They made it to a point where you can still mess it up, I think. It's still very plausible to mess it up, especially in like high pressure situations. You can definitely mess up Electro Wind Godfist. It's like a harder Incineroar side B, if that makes sense. You can definitely, most people I think can definitely input it. It's like, it's just a very broken move in general. You can just whiff it out in neutral. It kills, basically. Like, it's a combo tool. Like, it does everything. It's really good.
Yeah, that move is insane. I think what they did is they, because in Tekken it was a 1-frame input. I think they made it a 2-frame input.
When they announced Kazuya for Smash, I actually like installed Tekken again.
Oh really?
Yeah, just so I can get familiar with Kazuya. So I learned his inputs. I learned how to do Electric Wind Godfist. I learned his like combos and whatnot. Just so I can get like a feel of the character, you know what I mean? And he's like pretty, I think it worked out because he's like pretty similar, honestly. I think he's simplified compared to Tekken, obviously, because Smash. He's definitely like kind of similar, like in some aspects. Like you can transfer game knowledge, I think, in my opinion, pretty nicely. So that's what I did. And I learned how to do Electric Wind Godfist in that game. And if you learn how to do Electric Wind Godfist in Tekken, you're gonna do it every time in Smash. Definitely.
Wow. Okay, so that's actually a huge payoff. I feel like in some ways that was kind of a gamble because there's always the chance that he doesn't play like he does in Tekken, but the fact that he's so similar is like huge.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I was streaming yesterday and I was just doing Kazuya stuff like in training mode and whatnot. And a lot of people asked me how to do Electric Wind Godfist. I was like, oh, well, you just have to time it with the diagonal input, basically. I was just like, I couldn't explain it so like any simpler. And a lot of people kept asking, and I was like, oh wow, a lot of people actually don't know how to do it. But you know what? That's fine. Like, if you're watching this and you don't know how to do it, just go to training mode, learn the timing for it, and you'll get it eventually. Like, it's just practice it and you'll just get it eventually, in my opinion. I think it's something that anyone can do, as long as you do enough practice, of course. But don't get discouraged from not being able to do it at first. Like, eventually you'll be able to get it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that as long as you get it like once and you kind of get the feeling of it,
yeah,
and the feeling will get easier to do and you'll be able to replicate it. Yeah, that just comes with practice. Okay, so do you think you're going to solo main Kazuya? Do you think you're going to use any other characters?
That's actually like a question I've been thinking about myself a lot in general. So I was like, am I gonna like keep Terry? Am I gonna play the other Shotos, like Irene Ken? Am I gonna play Wolf? And I'm gonna play Sephiroth? I've been playing a lot of Sephiroth actually before Kazuya came out as like a secondary of sorts. So the thing is, Kazuya takes so much dedication. It takes so much dedication and so much effort that I don't know where to fit the secondary, right? I might just keep Terry because I'm good with him. Yeah, I know what to do with him. So if I ever like go to a tournament soon, then maybe I'll go Terry at some point. But I think currently the plan is I kind of want to solo main him because I want to see like how far I can take him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna drop Terry. It really depends on how I feel with Kazuya after playing with him a decent amount. Like obviously I kind of built my reputation off of Terry, but you know, Kazuya is the new hot thing, and I really like Kazuya, so it's like, you know, I kind of wanna see how far I can take him first.
Okay.
Someone in the chat said, "Y'all stop telling him who to play," and someone else said, "For the love of God, please don't drop Terry."
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll just say this: no matter what you do, you're not gonna please everyone. You know, like
yeah.
You know, some people are gonna love you for Terry.
Some people are gonna want Terry. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's enough Kazuya talk for now. Let's get into some other stuff. So I would say you're the best player in Canada. I mean, obviously, I feel like, you know, just a lot of people in the US, they don't really know about other communities or players outside of that area. So, I mean, being that you're like so good, you obviously didn't get good like just by yourself. It was like you had to have had like some people to play with in your community that like helped push you to get better. How competitive do you think your scene is? Like, who do you think are like the top components that helped push you to become like a better player?
Like, yeah, so I've been playing since Smash 4. I went to my first tournament when I was like 13 years old, I think. And in Smash 4, I was actually like a big Wi-Fi warrior. Do you know what Anter's Ladder was?
Yeah, I know what Antler's
Yeah, I
Ladder
used
is.
to be like in one of the seasons I was like top 3 in like the whole Smash 4 ranking.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't
So
know
it
that.
was like around that time I went to my first tournament. You know, I made a whole Facebook announcement and everything. It was cringe. But anyways, I went to the Smash 4 tournament. I got third. I beat some like notable PR players in like the region. Do you know who V115 is?
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah, he goes by VZ now, but I beat him. I beat Crimfoish, if you know who that is.
Yeah, did he?
I went game 5 with Black Twins in my first tournament. You know, the crowd was hype and everything. It was it was amazing.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean, so that's kind of where I started up, but kind of on the low key for Smash 4. I didn't go to that many tournaments as much as I wanted to. So when Ultimate came out, I like just heavy grinded the game, right? I went to every single tournament that I possibly could. Early Ultimate was so much fun, dude. I love playing Ultimate so much. Like in like the first few months, because it was just everything was new people, you get to improve at the game. It was just really fun. And the main contenders I think that really pushed me to improve was Black Twins, obviously, constant top 2 at least, minimum if he's not the best like in the region. I think JW, he definitely pushed me. I definitely had tons of sets with him. He definitely pushed me to improve as well. This is also when I main Richter, by the way, so
Yeah.
that's another thing. But that's kind of it, actually.
Okay.
Black Twins and JW, because in my opinion, there's a pretty big skill gap between the top 3, like me, Black Twins, JW, and then just a little bit of a gap after that. But those 2 players notably like pushed me far to where I am.
Okay. So you talked about how you were initially a Belmont player, you know, Richter
Yeah.
player. So what exactly, like, I guess, pushed you to main them? Because even in 4, to my knowledge, you were a Ryu player, right?
Yeah, I was a Ryu player.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a huge like change, you know? You're going from playing this character that goes into like a zoner.
When I saw the Richter trailer, I was like, I'm gonna be the best Richter. Because he's cool. Like, he just looks sick. And I actually like with Richter, if you see my gameplay, I actually like go in. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think I used to be a pretty aggressive one. Like a pretty aggressive Richter compared to most, but like I used the whip a lot. You know, I didn't use that many projectiles. Obviously, I used it still, but I used the whip a lot in general. For some reason, when I played him at like first month, like something just clicked. Funny story, I could have been an Ike main. And then
What?
I was playing Ike at first. Like, he was my first ultimate character, basically. And then I was fighting a player that I know from my region. And then I didn't notice it. Actually, I kind of did, but he just told me, "Yo, you're using Nair a lot." Like, this is all you're doing. And I'm just like, wait, this is all I'm doing. So I'm just like, maybe I should pick another character because this is like kind of boring. But this is pre-patch, by the way, so
Yeah.
there was like extra good.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, this is kind of boring. No offense to Ike mains, I'm sure he's like way more fun now, especially. But you know, it was early ultimate, so Ike was broken early ultimate, right? Because he's a simple character, and not many people like you saw MKLeo win with a lot with him. Not many people knew what to do against him, but yeah. And then I was like, let me play another character, and I played Richter because you know he was a character I was really looking forward to. I played him, and I was just like, I'm winning a lot on Elite Smash. Why don't I just play him offline? And then I played him offline, and I went to my first tournament. I got second. I beat Black Twins. Well, I didn't beat him with Richter. I beat him with Ken, actually. Pre-patch Ken.
Okay.
This is when Ken was like bottom tier. Like, for the majority of the tournament, I went to Richter, and I was like, this is pretty well. And then I went to another tournament. I got second again. I'm just like, wow, this Richter is really working out, and I just played him for as long as I could before I realized he has weaknesses that limit me. So I switched to other characters and whatnot. So yeah.
Let's say by some chance Richter like perfectly complements Kazuya. Do you think the Riddles Richter will come back?
Nah. He's also like he's one of the harder characters in the game too. So you have the same issue of Kazuya where you're working harder than the opponent a lot of the time. I can only imagine like working hard with Kazuya and working hard with Richter. It just sounds too much.
Okay, yeah. So just way too much effort to like maintain both of them. Okay, that totally makes sense. Have you gone to any offline events since like quarantine or like like after? No,
I haven't. Canada has been slow on like the opening process. I just got vaccinated, like second vaxxed last Sunday.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I just got second vax last Sunday. So I think events and tournaments can come back around August.
August? Okay.
Yeah, I know the Americans have it already. I'm just like, man, I wish I could be that, but I just have to wait a little bit longer. It's fine.
Okay. Well, once events do come back, do you plan on going to a lot more local events, or do you think you're going to continue to like stream as often as you do?
Oh, yeah, I definitely plan to go to as many tournaments as I possibly could. 100%. I am a competitor first. I want to compete more than I want to stream. Even though streaming is really fun, actually. Sometimes it's discouraging with Ultimate Online and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So since I'm a competitor first, I want to go to as many tournaments as possible. And I genuinely feel like that this is kind of off topic, but you can improve so much faster through offline tournaments than anything else, I think. Literally anything else. You can improve so much faster with offline tournaments. So I'm going to go to as many as I possibly could. Obviously, playing Kazuya, I think it'll be really fun. I didn't expect a DLC character to, come out, and I'm just like, wow, I really want to devote this, because all the Fighters Pass 2 characters have been kind of eh for me. Closest thing is like Sephiroth that I've been trying to play a little bit more, but obviously I've just been playing Terry and whatnot. But I think Kazuya is like the next thing for me. I'm just like, wow, this is sick. So that's my plan for now.
All right, that's definitely good to hear because I want to see how Kazuya looks at the top level. I know you can bring him there.
I'm definitely going to Riptide, and I'm definitely whipping him out at Riptide, 100%.
Okay, now, yeah, that was actually going to be my next question. What's like the next like big event you plan on going to? But there it is, Riptide.
I'll probably be going to Riptide. I just got second vaxxed, and they made it so that if you're second vaxxed, you can go to the US starting I think July, somewhere in July. But if you're second vaxxed, you don't have to be like quarantined or whatever, obviously. So I plan to go to a lot of tournaments. I plan to go to main stage. I might go to CEO. CEO's like kind of hard for me because I think I have exams during that period. Obviously, I'm going to Let's Make Big Moves. I'm really looking forward to that tournament because I really loved the Let's Make Big Moves last 2020 last year, and I'll see what goes from there.
Okay, cool. I guess going into Riptide, like, do you have any plans for how you're going to practice Kazuya? Like, do you have high expectations? Because again, the character just came out, so do you feel like you're going to be at kind of a disadvantage because a lot of players probably have had more time with their characters compared to you?
Well, naturally, of course, because he just came out and I'm figuring out the things with him, and he's hard in general. But like, I don't know. Personally, I feel like I don't think it's worth thinking about stuff like that, because I think it's better to just play, just play the game. Just because obviously the character just came out, so don't think about like stuff like that. I think I'm just going to think about just playing the game, improving with Kazuya. That's all I'm going to be thinking in my mind.
Okay, good mindset to have. I like it. Okay, I think this is going to be the last question.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think the final DLC character is going to be and why?
All right. I think the last character is going to be Master Chief. All right.
Okay.
Let's think about it. No FPS rep. I know there's already a Microsoft character, but I don't think that's a rule. I just think like out of all the video game characters, he's the most iconic that hasn't been in Smash. Like, who else is more iconic than Master Chief? Like, it goes outside of the realm of Nintendo. It goes to like PC gamers, Xbox, even like PlayStation, to an extent. And I'm sure most Nintendo fans, I'm pretty sure every single person knows who Master Chief is. Like, Halo is just so iconic. I know Doom Guy is a thing, but like I don't think Doom Guy has much as an influence as Master Chief. I was gonna say he has like more potential for moveset, but I don't know much about Doom Guy to say that confidently. I think Master Chief is gonna be the last character. And think about it. Master Chief finishes the fight. Like, that's the thing in Halo. It'll be the thing in Smash. Like, that just makes sense, right? If it's not Master Chief, I think it's gonna be Phoenix Wright. I think it's gonna be Phoenix Wright if it's not Master Chief. There hasn't been a Capcom rep at all, in the DLC pack. Obviously, Dante was deconfirmed. Like, oh my god, they really did that. They really made it into a Mii costume. You hate to see it, but yeah, stuff like that. I think Phoenix Wright is like the next Capcom character that they would add. I think those are my main two contenders: Master Chief and Phoenix Wright.
All right, I feel like I have to ask this because I know, like, somewhere in the comments I'm going to get this. What about Sora?
Nah, bruh. Nah, I don't even want Sora in the game, I have to be honest. But you see all that Disney shit, bro? Like, nah, bro. There's no way. They're gonna do some bullshit where, like, if you play him in tournament, you're gonna get copy strike, so he's gonna be banned. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't think Sora's gonna be in. I think it's very unlikely. I won't be I'll be like fine with it. I don't really care. Personally, I would like prefer Master Chief or Phoenix Wright or other characters. If he gets in, that'll be fine.
Okay, cool. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. I hope you enjoyed the interview.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, bro.
Yeah, so I guess where can the people find you? Like on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube?
I'm pretty sure for YouTube, it's just youtube.com/riddles. So you can find my YouTube channel. I haven't been uploading that consistently, but I'm gonna be really busy July. But you know, that's the thing. If you want to check it out, you can find me on Twitch, where I might stream a bit more Kazuya and stuff like that. Twitch.tv/riddlesmk, and for Twitter as well, twitter.com/riddlesmk. It's all riddlesmk basically.
All right. Well, yeah. If you don't know, hit him with the follow. If you want to see top Kazuya play, this is definitely your guy. So yeah, check him out.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the interview. I really enjoyed it. It's sick talking to you.
Yeah, dude. Thank you again for coming on. I appreciate you. You know, it's okay in coming down here.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun. Yeah, it's really nice talking to you.
Yeah.